Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to Baines Getting Out, the family podcast where we talk about and reminisce. We talk about lots of different things and reminisce on the past.
Yes.
Just generally have a bit of banter.
Yes.
About stuff. A very broad range of topics, but we hone it down to getting opinions from two different generations and different viewpoints and that sort of stuff, which I think makes it quite interesting. I think that's what I found from the last episode that we recorded. Not suggesting that these are filmed out of order at all. What are you talking about? Okay. So on this week's episode, I would like to talk. I think one of the main sort of highlight memories, I think, from being at home. It's kind of being at home, but I'm actually going to talk about something away from home. But our road trips.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah. So we have been on quite a few road trips in our time.
It became an annual thing, didn't it?
It did for a very long time.
Yeah. I mean, from you being about 14, I think.
Yes.
That was your first road trip.
Yes. It was kind of when I was starting to get into making content.
And it was the contacts you were making via, even sort of social media.
Kind of referencing what we were speaking about in episode 1.
Yeah. Even though it's taken off a lot more since you were 14.
Yeah.
For goodness sake.
I mean, it was kind of at the point when I was... there was a point in time.
Okay.
There's a point in time where saying the phrase "speaking to people online" was a negative, whereas it's kind of just the norm now.
It is. I mean, look at what we mentioned in episode 1 about me getting into chat rooms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But saying that, like speaking to people in public, that's almost more frowned upon. No, but
it is in the city.
Well, that's it. But it's become a norm now. But I think when I first started making content, it was still a bit unheard of. I think even
to make new contacts,
make new friends from across the country. Yeah, I mean, even you were sort of a bit. Would you say concerned about that?
Very concerned, which is why I insisted on travelling with you at that age.
The first one,
and that's how the road trip started.
Yeah,
you wanted to go and see somebody and film with them.
Yeah, someone who I knew from
Doctor Who. And
learning about the fandom, creating fan generated content from Doctor Who. Very interested in that. Yeah, started. Get in touch with people who did the same. And then
I remember you asked how far it was to this place, and I thought, why is he asking? I mean, we're talking sort of down south, and you're going towards London, and I thought, I said, why? I think you talked about trains and stuff, and I said, why? And you just mentioned you wanted to go and see this person, and I just said, no. And I said, I tell you, and you were very disappointed. And because we've always supported you tried not to hold you back, but given you a sense of responsibility.
Yes.
I said, right, I'll tell you what, I'll go with you, book into a hotel. I want to meet this person first.
Yeah, well, I think that's a very natural thing. With me being 14 years old.
And you can go off and do your filming and what have you. And that was our first road trip.
Yeah.
We had a lovely time. And I think the nice thing was it was the travelling. It was the drive. It was the things we talked about, the mother and son time, which was it's been very, very precious to me. Every single time that you and I have had the quality time together, it's always been precious, and it's something I'll treasure. And I know, I'm not saying it's rare with mothers and sons, I'm not saying that, but I do think it's been quite special because I've always sort of been as daft.
Yes.
I've joined in.
Yeah.
I've not been the adult in the room.
Shied away from it.
I know Shy Baines getting out.
No.
I've not necessarily been the adult in the room, have I? You know what I mean?
I think people who've met you have been very surprised.
I think so too. And even though I was sort of an older mother, just for instance, years and years ago, I used to say to you, "Are you embarrassed that I'm an older parent?" And you said, absolutely not. You're more fun than some of my friends' parents type of thing.
Yeah.
Because in here, I'm still 25.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just, forget this. But yeah, it's very hard because I can listen to a record and it transports me back and I can have the same feelings as I did when I was in my 20s. But those road trips were very, very important. I think they were very important because we bonded a lot more, I think, probably than what we would have done if we'd stayed at home and just had normal family holidays. I mean, there were only usually a couple of nights, weren't there?
Yeah, it wasn't.
So that was the first one. And then I think the next one was Cardiff.
Cardiff, yeah, the home of Modern Who, not New Who.
Yeah, and that was John Hutch, wasn't it? And again, we went down because obviously I needed to meet him as well.
Yeah.
You know, because there were the people that you latched onto were slightly older than you, not loads, but slightly older.
Yeah.
So the following year we did Cardiff. I think we did that twice or three times.
I think we did a few times.
Cardiff.
I think
it became a favourite haunt, actually.
it did, yeah, for a while, because then there was like Dad came down
the
once.
Convention.
There was a convention. There was the official Doctor Who convention.
Went to the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we visited we visited multiples.
Yeah.
But there was an opportunity where the Doctor Who did an official convention around 2012ish, I think it was.
Yeah.
Sort of leading up into the anniversaries. Met Matt Smith, and then we went on to the 2010 TARDIS set.
That's right.
Because I think at that point they finished filming with it, because then they moved on to the newer one. Yeah, that was an experience, sort of seeing that set. That was very exclusive because they did another TARDIS tour set.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
With the set that Matt Smith and Peter Capaldi used.
Yes.
And that was cool, but that was more a part of a experience thing. So it was less exclusive. And
it was a bit more organised. Yeah, it was a bit more organised as well.
Yeah.
I do remember the one thing I did enjoy. There was one time when we were going down to London.
Yeah.
To see David Tennant.
Oh no!
No, we're going down to see David Tennant.
Yeah.
In a play, and we stayed at the Holiday Inn. Was it David Tennant we went down to see?
There was a con with that though as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then we realised there was a con in Milton Keynes. So what we did was I booked an extra night.
Yeah.
In the Milton Keynes Stadium.
Yeah.
And it was great because. I mean, I left you more on your own. That wasn't the Comic Con that I got dressed up in, which I have done. This was the one where we were just on our way to London to see a play.
Yeah, yeah.
We also realised it sort of coincided the day before or something. So I booked into the Hilton. We got the room that actually overlooked the stadium, didn't we? Can you remember? And I met all your friends. There was like loads of them.
I think that was the first time. No, was it the first time you met Charlie?
No, I don't think Charlie was there for that one.
No, it wasn't.
That was early. It was early.
That was there was Charlotte was there for the first time. I think that was one where you.
That was the other Milton Keynes one, yeah. Oh, that was the one where my foot was, my metatarsal was cracked.
Yeah.
No, that was the first Milton Keynes one.
And you were crew for the Comic Con there.
I was. And that was good. And then we did that, and then we went down to London and we went to see the play, didn't we?
It was it Much Ado About Nothing?
I think it was.
Yeah.
And we were quite close to the front and everything. You managed to get a picture with Catherine Tate. Yeah. Just missed out on David Tennant.
Yeah.
But we solved that. What I loved, I mean, the travelling down was just equally as fun because we kept on talking in a Welsh accent and then we couldn't stop, didn't we? We couldn't get out of it. And we always stayed, when we went down to Cardiff though, we always stayed at the Travel Lodge, which was brilliant.
Yes. No,
which was brilliant because, I mean, literally it was round the corner from the big, what they call it?
Millennium Centre.
I like Cardiff Bay, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah, we went to Milton Keynes. We couldn't get into that hotel, could we? And but
there was one nearby. There
was one nearby, and I'd hurt my foot. I'd had an X-ray. They said it was okay, but I had a feeling it wasn't.
Yeah.
And I had it strapped up with a boot and a walking stick, and I was sat outside of. Because I couldn't walk around because it was painful. What I didn't realise was the hospitality area.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to this guy on this he had a stall. Yeah. And I got on really well with him. He was lovely. And everybody was like trawling past me. I mean, everybody who was anybody trawled past me.
A lot of doctors.
Yeah, a lot of doctors. The only one that didn't speak was, I've gone right off, is Colin
Baker.
Colin Baker, yeah. Tom Baker was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody, really,
Yeah.
everybody's. And the person that was absolutely lovely was Sir Sterling Moss and his wife, because I went to the hospitality toilets.
Fair enough.
But they were absolutely. I was just sat on a little stool thing,
yeah. Like camping stool.
Camping stool, yeah. And but everybody spoke to me. They were really nice. Most people, because I was sort of sat and I had a T-shirt on that said Rob Crew.
Yeah.
And I think they thought I was something.
Yeah.
So they were all like nodding and whatnot, what have you. The first time I met...
That was the time that Charlotte was with us.
Yeah. Then there was another time when Charlotte wasn't with us and we stayed at the Hilton Metropole.
That was... So, yeah, that was the one where it was David Tennant.
We met David Tennant and...
Billy Piper.
And we also did a sit-down with them out of Torchwood.
Yeah. Yeah, you were with... Yantos.
I was talking to him at the bar.
Yeah.
I lost a cardigan on that one. And yeah.
You lost something else as well there.
Oh, tickets. It was like meet and greet type things. And I have to say at this point, I am a little bit guilty of misplacing things.
Yeah, I think that'll be an ongoing theme throughout the Shy Baines Getting Out podcast.
So what had happened...
More stories to come after this one.
So what had happened was I'd misplaced these tickets and I panicked.
Specifically the tickets for my photo shoot with David Tennant.
Yeah. So I couldn't find them, so I dashed down to the foyer and I said to these people, I said, look, what can I do? You know, do I have to buy some more and this, that, and the other? And she said, well, I was like really panicking and it was awful. And then we found them, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were in the bin.
You just chucked them out.
Yeah.
Just chucked them in the bin with another bit of document that you're like, oh, I don't need that anymore.
Yeah. So thank God you
threw them out on the day that we were on the day.
Yes.
Otherwise, the cleaners would have mopped them up.
But it was nice because the Hilton Metropole was very good. And what I'd done is I'd paid. Was that the time we paid for an executive room?
Can't remember.
Or was Dad with us when we paid for the executive room?
I think it was only us. No, it was only us.
And
that one.
I paid for the executive pass, and so we managed to get everybody else in for free drinks, didn't we?
Yes.
That was quite good.
I mean, I think every con I've sort of met someone new. Yeah, I mean, I think Charlie. I think that was the first time I actually spoke to Charlie.
Yeah, Milton Keynes was the first time.
Milton Keynes one.
I remember Charlie because
very young face Charlie.
Yes, and Milton, and it had like a shopping centre, didn't it? I went round looking around the shops.
Yes, yeah.
Because I kept wandering off, obviously, and I have done a Comic Con where I've got dressed up, but not greatly. No. But they've all been.
Yeah, I think there was the hotel. The one was actually in the hotel I met. There was a few new people I met there. I think my friend Lizzie, who I've spoken to online. That was the first time I met her at that convention. No, wasn't
there was a few people. Yeah, I remember walking around Cardiff and you got recognised.
What? I can't remember that. Yes. Okay. No, yeah, there was.
That was when we all went down to the convention. Dad was with us and you got recognised from
there's been a few conventions early on. I was like, people have recognised me.
Yeah.
It's always, with the weird thing about that is, I don't know if you knew about this, but there's been conventions that I've been to, not necessarily the ones that we've been to together, but the more
recent
MCM,
ones.
The Birmingham ones. Yeah. There was one time where I got asked for. I was in my Ant-Man suit and I got asked for a picture, and I didn't actually realise. I was like, "Oh, do you want me to put my helmet on?" Because most of the time when people want pictures, they want you in the full sort of gear.
Yeah, of course.
They want a picture with Ant-Man. They don't want a picture with Rob Baines. But this guy wanted a picture with Rob Baines, and he didn't tell me this until afterwards. And he said, "Oh no, I watch your stuff on YouTube." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's really nice." And there was another time. I think it was a separate occasion where I was in a costume. I think it might have been Ant-Man again, or it might be in another costume. I got asked for more pictures for me in my doctor's costume than I did.
Yeah.
As Ant-Man. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
This is weird. And
your own doctor.
Yeah, my own doctor, the purple suit doctor, yeah. Yeah, that was the...
I think the whole process, though, for me, has been a lot of fun. And I think I'm as I've said, the times have been very precious. I'm grateful. I am extremely, extremely grateful that you and I get on that well, that you've wanted me there.
Oh, well,
I mean, but there's a big age gap between us and whatnot. You know, I didn't have you when I was young and this, that, and the other. But sometimes parents don't get included. And I just think it's been an absolute joy because not only have we had great times and I laugh driving down and whatnot, signposts and different things. Signiposty. But there's also a lot of catchphrases have come out of trips and stuff, like you always expect more, mother. When we went to the little Doctor Who exhibition in Cardiff, and I said, well, is that it? Yeah, because we'd been to a bigger one.
It was literally an exhibition.
It was only a small one, wasn't it?
It was like a very scaled down sort
of thing. And we sort of came to the end of it, and I said, is that it? He said, you always expect more, mother. And that sort of stuck. But
and the signiposted thing was...
because
please explain that. You can't just say signiposted. And
what it was, we were trying to... When you get to Wales, the signposts are always... The signposts are always in Welsh and English. So Robert was trying to...
Obviously, the Welsh accent is very...
So we were speaking in a Welsh accent, well, as good as we can. Robert's better at accents than I am. But we couldn't get out of this Welsh accent. But also we were trying to...
just decipher
the Welsh signs. You read one out that was signiposty and it was signpost.
Yeah, it was signposted, yeah. I was in the same sort of... Just trying to word it out. Of just words that don't look like the same.
Signipost.
Yeah, signiposted.
I said it's signpost. So we've had some real good laughs. We really have. I mean, we've had some great, nice meals with friends and different things like that. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And I've not just enjoyed being the financier, which has obviously been handy for you, but I think I know I've been included because you wanted me there, not because I've got the purse. And then sometimes I've left you to get on with your friends.
Yeah,
you don't want your mother hanging around all of the time. I've been happy to be included when I have, because the times we've travelled down together, we've travelled back together. The other time I remember about going down to Cardiff was coming back. You were at uni. That was and. You fell asleep because we were there late, and now we had to get back for your screening at Cineworld.
Yeah, so it was at the end of my
little Kay was screaming at 95 mile an hour on the motorway most of the time.
It was my third year, and it was the film Extract, which is 10 years old now.
Yeah, no, I can't believe it.
Yeah, that was being shown at the cinema,
and it won.
And it won 2 awards. It won the audience vote one, which was...
That was a shock, and I'll explain why it was a shock. It's because there was some...
There's a lot of people supporting different...
There was a lot of... What can I don't mean to sound... Anyway, there was a lot of Oriental people there supporting there was a Chinese girl. There was 2 Chinese students, wasn't there? And they'd both done fantastic films. I mean, she'd even gone over to China, I think, and done one. So when there was 6 of us, there was Sam Bainbridge, who was your teacher at school, and she's always been a great supporter.
No, she's been to the studio.
Auntie Pat, me, your dad, Charlotte, and you.
Yeah.
So we knew we'd get 6 votes. See, so we knew we'd get 6 votes. And when I looked round at the people in the audience...
I think it was a fairly full audience.
It was a full audience. No, but when you saw the number of people that you thought would vote for their person, or who you thought was their person, based on ethnicity, I didn't think you would. You stood a chance. Not because it wasn't good enough, because it was the best film. However, I just thought... It was a numbers game. That's all, because like I wouldn't have voted for any other film.
No, but you would have thought sort of. I mean, wasn't it a thing of like you picked multiple that you liked?
But you won, and it was absolutely amazing. But it was a fantastic film, and again, Dad and I were very involved in that. That's another story for another day.
Yeah, that's definitely a full story.
Yeah, that's a full story. But so there's all.
I won Best Visual Effects as well, which
did.
I mean, that was the only film with visual effects, to be fair, but that's beyond the point.
No, was one other, not many visual effects, but there was one other, but I can't remember what they were. Must have been
very memorable.
Yeah. But these road trips have been an absolute joy. I mean, I know they can't be repeated because life goes on and life changes and you're older and you've got your partner and, you know, Charlotte and everything like that now. But nevertheless, it is something that we've shared together.
I'm very thankful for the times that we've shared. It's been brilliant. I mean, I think there's always a story that comes out of it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've done two trips to Spain where we've both stayed for a month.
Mm-hmm.
That was because I worked and had the school holidays. We've managed to be there a week at the beginning, a week at the end.
Yeah.
And then people have joined. And again, that's another story. But again, those have been precious times as well.
Yeah, just a time of us.
Yeah. And it is. I think what has helped though. Is because I suppose my early career in advertising, whilst it was miles away from what you do now, it sort of leads up to that.
Yeah.
Advertising in newspapers leads up to what's happening in industry now.
Still achieving the same sort of end goal though, is advertising a business, but it's just using the most popular form of media to do that.
Because free newspapers have gone now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean they were, you know, ours was a proper newspaper. It had stories in. We had reporters, one of whom you've met and worked with, Ian Lamming. So we had proper reporters, but there was also a newspaper in Darlington that was just purely advertising.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but I started my career at the Northern Echo. And the training was fabulous. Mm-hmm. And I do think that's probably helped in my, would you say encouragement? Well, I would have encouraged you whatever you'd wanted to do. When you said that's what you wanted to do, and you've been very focused from being age about 9, I think, they gave you a camera, it worried me. Because I thought, oh, God, he's not choosing the easiest path here. No. It's not like going to work for somebody and having them paying you a wage.
Oh yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're very much you're the sink or swim sort of. That's
quite.
Yeah.
So, but nevertheless, being able to travel with you, being able to encourage you, being able to talk about my past and everything like that.
It's life, yeah.
I think it's probably helped you in your path, right or wrong. The mistakes I've made, I don't want you to make, but you've got to make your own, I guess. At least when you've been around the block a few times, like I have. Mm-hmm. I think it's a case of I've got a lot of wisdom to impart, and I'm not saying I know more than anybody else. I've done a lot of stupid shit. You know. Well, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. If I give advice, it's not because I know better than anybody. It's just that I've done some stupid so-and-so things in my life, that's all. I've done a lot of experience in a lot of different things. So I can probably impart that. Yeah. Well, to avoid you taking the same path, I suppose. I think it's important. I think it's important. You don't sort of. I mean, sometimes you can get a bit pushy as a mother. I guess I have done that at times, but it's not out of.
No, it's always been good reason. I mean, it was like what we were speaking about acting.
Yeah, you were so shy as a toddler. So shy.
I think there's still that side of me. There's always going to be that.
Of course.
Shy Baines.
Yeah, of course though. But this is my mantra.
Yeah.
Is I've always said to you. Basically, what happened was he was very shy, and I put him in. Even though we didn't have a lot of money, and it cost a lot of money. I put him in a drama school, a drama group.
Stagecoach, wasn't it?
Stagecoach, yeah. And he ended up having the lead part in this little play, and he was painfully shy. But when he was actually doing the part, and this is what I've tried to tell you all your life, and it has worked to a point.
Definitely.
Once you are playing that part, you're not you. Mm-hmm. You can be whoever you want to be. Yeah. And you were very, very good. And then I got you to do a couple of weeks.
There was like summer ones, like
summer camp
between schools.
Summer camp.
I think I did a weekly one at one point. I also remember with that one of my favorite moments was. I know this is the weirdest thing to remember, like to have a good memory of this specific one. But you know when I did that weekly one at that place opposite the Dean's.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So it was like a hut. It was,
Yeah, it was. It was like a sort of a community centre sort of thing.
Yes.
There was an acting class thing, not as official as Stagecoach or anything, but it was just like sort of a local type one. I remember my biggest memories of that was I'd obviously still got stuff out of that. Probably not as much as the bigger ones, but there was like one time where you just picked me up and you gave me a portable DVD player the first time. I was like, and then the Back to the Future trilogy on DVD.
all right.
And that was. I mean, that's not the best thing to sort of remember that with, but that was like a high moment for me. I was like, I could just watch Back to the Future until the DVDs burnt.
Yeah.
Which they did. Those DVDs don't work anymore because I watched the films too much. That was a bit of a segue from that, but yeah. I mean, I think the acting I did lots of different things.
Yes.
I did a bit of acting in Reed Street in like sort of nativities and stuff.
You were very good in the nativity, yeah.
Well, I did one when I was very young. Sad Clown.
The Sad Clown, yeah. That was the first Stagecoach one.
Was the first one.
We did one where you had to have a waistcoat.
One.
You had to have a waistcoat with buttons and things on. I can't remember that. That was it.
And I did.
And then you did one where is it Fagin?
Yeah, in Olivia.
Olivia, yeah.
Couldn't get the rights.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest,
that was probably the best. Yeah.
It was the best because Dad and I sat in the audience and watched you and we thought, Christ. And you told this joke on stage.
That was the biggest role. That was the biggest
It was the biggest role. And you told this joke on stage and laughed. And that laugh was as if you told that joke for the very first time. And I thought, wow. That was the moment for me. We got goosebumps and everything. I thought, wow.
Yeah.
He is brilliant. And that's what I've always said to you, though. When you stand up in front of people, you can be, and I've always said this to you, you can be whoever you want to be, act a part, act confident, and it comes.
That's sort of the advice I've always taken on, like in business as well as act more confident than you actually are.
Yeah.
And then eventually that'll sort of overwrite and still always have that sort of shy
Richard Branson once said, "Fake it till you make it."
Basically the same.
It is.
It's the same sort of saying.
I'm not saying you've got to pretend that you know more than what you do. It's just that as long as you know what you're talking about, know your product or whatever, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
That comes from your confidence. But you don't have to. People don't know you.
No.
So you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
You went on. I also pushed. Terrible mum. I also pushed you to do that teaching course. Oh, you were so poorly when you did the exams as well.
Yeah, I think I did my bit and then I ran to the toilet.
Yeah,
after that.
Yeah, you had like a gastric flu, I think.
Yeah.
That was in Newcastle, wasn't it?
Newcastle, yeah.
So,
but there's another acting one where I think it was probably the one before the Olivia one. I think the Olivia one was probably the last one I did.
Yes, for Stagecoach it was.
Yeah.
I think Trudy Highmarsh, the lady who ran Stagecoach, she was a bit disappointed that you didn't take it up more.
Right.
But you see, even at school, Paul Imerson, I remember Paul Imerson saying he's as good in front of the camera as he is behind it. So there's always been that element. And that you get, I know this sounds big-headed, you get that from me, except I was never that shy.
Yeah.
I know you must think I'm shy, but... I was never that shy. I was the little kid that Sunday school I got up on the stage and I sang.
Yeah.
And I wrote plays. I wrote plays and I performed them in front of the class, the school. I used to put plays on in our backyard where we used to live in Surtees Street. We backed onto the Deans. Our yard was sort of high and then 2 steps down to where the bins were. My audience used to have to sit by the bins.
Yeah.
My dad had built a shed and I used to go in there and do my costume changes and stuff. And I used to sell little cups of lemonade in the interval. Oh, yeah.
How much?
About a penny, I think.
Okay.
The old penny as well. It wasn't the new penny. And I used to, and I used to have... And I must have always been in advertising as well because I had...
you made your own posters and stuff.
I did. And I also used to do a jumble sale. So I used to be in Superman comics and I used to love all my comics. And I used to sell them. I wish I'd kept them.
I think it would have been worth a lot more than you sold.
And I also remember there was a back lane that ran around to the street around there and I'd written on somebody's wall, jumble sale this way. I got in trouble for that because I chalked all over somebody's wall.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So I think it's always inbuilt, and I think with you, it was inbuilt with you as well. Sort of, the camera. Because you used to, when we used to go away, if I gave you a pad and some crayons and that, you used to do storyboards.
Yeah,
well, and this is your career.
Yeah,
storyboards.
Yeah, I made comic books basically, which was
comic books.
Yeah, a few years down the line, watching comic book films is kind of poetic in a way. Yeah, I mean, there's always been something, a strive to tell stories.
Yeah, and me too. So there you go. It's maybe there is something in this hereditary thing, a little bit.
I was just like with the vlogging when I was younger, doing a lot of blogs, as I called them, sort of documenting bits of life and telling people, sharing a part of my life with an audience as a you version of that. Remember, did the Ferndale Focus?
Yeah, I did the Ferndale Focus when I was
Basically, your way of updating relatives, neighbours, good family friends about what's going on.
That was when I got a lot better on the computer because I used to do it.
Yes.
Like
that's sort of the main thing you sort of use the computer for, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Just like sort of doing those and what you'd class as just like maybe as a
like
few
front page of a newspaper.
A few phone calls and just did it in your own sort of way where people can read about it.
But that obviously came from sort of advertising, but not only that. Long before I knew what I was going to do as a career, well, I didn't know I was going to do that as a career. Actually, I just drifted into it. To be honest, I'm like you in as much as I've always managed to get people to get involved in things as well.
Yes.
I've always been able to persuade people to get involved.
Yeah.
And I also remember my friend Josie said, I'm so pleased we went to Carlisle and I didn't go to secondary school with you because I'd have got into so much trouble. Because I've always been mischievous as well and whatnot. So, but like you rope your friends in to doing all sorts.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
They are willing. They're willing because they know it's fun. Yeah. And that was the same with me, with my plays and whatnot. I always used to rope people in. So it's amazing. I just think it's amazing the parallels. Yeah. Regardless of the 40 years difference, if you like.
Yeah, no, definitely.
The parallels. Yeah. And the difference in time zones and time zones.
Time periods.
Time periods. Paradox. No, it's I think it's fun. I think it really is. Back to the road trips.
Yes.
That wasn't a segue at all, but back to the road trips, it's just been a joy, and I think because we get on so well and we are alike in a lot of ways, that is the reason why everything's worked out so well on the road trips. Yeah. We've never fallen out on things. Well, apart from when I've lost stuff. No. You have stressed you out a bit sometimes.
You have stressed me out, yeah. But we were that moment you're specifically speaking about. We will mention the next episode for sure. That will definitely come up. I'll have a rant on camera about that.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
A rendition of how you reacted and how I reacted to sort of get a sense from our facial expressions of how that went.
But I can't help it. I'm the same with your dad. I'm the same with your dad.
Yes.
He said
you react to stressful situations in blind panic, and then when
as soon as it's over for me.
You just start laughing. Everyone else is left.
When I was in charge of the office at North Allerton,
the cool down.
Yeah, when I was in charge of the office at North Allerton, when it was deadline day, I used to have you ever, the flight of the bumblebee.
Oh God!
I used to.
Yeah, that helped. I bet that would have helped.
So when people were like rushing around getting all the copy out, shut up!
I was gonna say, well, people telling you to shut up at that point, yeah.
But yeah, that's just my sense of humour, unfortunately, for some.
Unfortunately for them, yeah, yeah.
It's interesting, and I've had a good life. I've had some shitty bits, but hey. That's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We all. I honestly think you have to go through the bad times to appreciate the good times as well.
Definitely.
But I am happy to say that since I've had you, there's been more good times because it's been a joy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a ball as a single person, as a non-parent, if you like.
Yeah.
But being a parent sort of changes everything. And being a parent as an older parent, there's pros and cons. For both. you know what I was thinking there, don't you? Yeah, there's pros and cons for both, but I just think
you need to explain these things. You can't just leave it in the air. There's a program that we used to watch called The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
And there was a guy who did the announcements for the different challenges. One of the ones was
pros and cons.
A detour.
Oh, detour.
A detour is a choice between two tasks.
Yes.
Each with its pros and cons.
That's right. And
except I'd never heard that.
No.
I always thought he said detour is a choice between two tasks, each with its pros and cons. So I thought, none of these challenges have involved pros and cons at any point. So I don't know why he says that. And I know that was for the longest time.
I always remember
I quoted it. I think I quoted it to you guys, and then probably
burst
a
out
moment
laughing.
where you burst out laughing and didn't stop.
And I remember telling Bill McKinley about it when I went up to the pub when he had the pub, and I went shopping with him to get the stuff for because he was like the chef as well as the owner. And I told him about it, and he just honestly he loved it. He said, "I wonder if I can find some frozen corn."
Just some frozen corn.
But you can get frozen corn now. Yeah.
On that note. We always find a moment, I think, in these podcasts where just like a random point to a random note to end it on. But that was a really good podcast. I think, it's overall. I think I've really enjoyed wherever we are, whether it's in this country or we'll obviously speak about
Spain.
Times in Spain because that's been a road trip and another.
Yeah, we did one on our own as well, didn't we? Yeah.
Other things with that we'll talk about. I think Spain's probably a topic that we're going to be speaking about a lot in potentially next episode.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
So,
but the thing is, the reason this is flawed is because we have flawed. We've always sort of discussed all sorts, really.
Definitely, yeah.
Some in drink and some not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm better. People of Earth. I did suggest that I could drink wine but I was banned.
Yeah, I think that would have been the season would have been 3 times longer at least. I think
I was banned,
and there might be a point where I'll leave the room whilst you're still talking with wine in hand, still giving yourself a top up.
There could have been a few bleeps.
I think plenty of bleeps. I think.
Yeah. So Robert's seen me at my best and at my worst.
Yeah.
And I think we know each other very well.
Definitely.
And and I think that's why the road trips have worked, and these podcasts definitely have worked.
Definitely.
So thank you.
Hence, that's why we're doing this podcast. It's another side. You've seen the personal side of it with my friends in the Quiffcast. It's in the business side of things in any business, and now we're sharing the family side of things.
The family
stays within the family. And then in a future episode, I might introduce someone else to the family.
Yes, that would be nice.
So there you go. But yeah, I think that's all we've got time for.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, it's been good. Until the next episode, potentially talking about Spain.
Yes.
We're not going to speak in Spanish. We're just going to talk about Spain. Although there will be some Spanish we'll be teaching you in the next episode. So.
Oh yes.
So look forward to that lesson. But until then, catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.